Hello Dave of 2011. Certainly interesting to see how much has changed in so much time, and also in some cases in so little time. The first thing I'll say is the 6 weeks you feared about a lot, you got through it. You managed to cope with it, and it ended up being one of your strongest years in your career. I can certainly say is that you had every right to be scared because it was time to test you. And I feel that you passed with flying colours. I must say there are scary things that you do come across in time, and there's certainly more scary things that are yet to come. While you may have been fearing about how things go at work, you certainly managed to get yourself to a point where you're going to be ending on a high and going into a much scarier time. An unknown world that you have no idea what to expect. You're making a big change and you know that walking away is going to be a bit of a hard one, but you're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for yourself. The main thing you covered was about confidence. I would definitely say is that the past year has seen a much more stronger growth in confidence in itself because there have been many factors that have truly changed this. Firstly, around the time when you recorded this, there's a girl named Genevieve you're speaking to. She makes a significant contribution to how things go. There were some major hurdles that you managed to get through, and Genevieve truly did help you get through that. She truly does make a key difference. You're certainly going to be grateful that she is there, not just back then, but even in 6 months' time, and even still today. Two events that you list up in your mind that are going to be important, and they have been. One is Miami, the other one is California, aka VidCon. Miami was an interesting change for you. You managed to finally go into a place that you didn't know, and you managed to cope with it. It was nice, you managed to find your feet. It's amazing to think that it actually still happened this year. It feels so long ago. California was a big one, and VidCon itself was such a strong point. You got to meet all your friends in Granny. Whether it's your girlfriend named Genevieve, or the friend that you're a PA to known as Kim, the enthusiastic yet crazy Kaylee, or equally Sama, or Kimber, or Addie, or Arcee, or Ruth. Like, these guys really made you feel complete. That's definitely the one thing you've been missing a lot. Finding a place that you felt at home. I think that's what it's been in particular in this past year, is realizing that there is so much more to do. And the truth is, there is. I'm not going to tell you were wrong to be scared and that it's going to be okay, because truth is, you had every right to be scared. The future is a scary place, and to be honest, you're going to be going through similar fears once again. Fears like this do not go away. They will always be there, but you're going to be making a real change for yourself. Because the past year, you feel like you've obliged yourself to things. That you've made these commitments because that's what the situation calls for. And for once you manage to sit down and think, do I actually have the control of the situation, and more importantly, am I happy? 2012 has been one of the biggest years for you in terms of changes, rebuilding in confidence, and sort of finding comfort and happiness in areas. It's just the start of things. I don't think you would believe me if I actually told you at this point that in less than 20 days, you're actually going to be walking away from that job. And to be honest, you have every right to be scared because, by golly, I am too. It's a risk, a big risk, and people are going to be calling you foolish for trying to take this risk, but risks are there to be taken. If confidence is a big issue to you, then I can definitely say you've progressed far to the point that you're actually doing this, because it is a risk, and you are scared. You fear about worrying about letting people down, but for once, it's about letting yourself down. You managed to still be yourself and not lose ground on your morals. You haven't given up on your friends. You haven't given up on yourself. The strength that you've been carrying yourself forward has come to one of its peak points this year. And the thing is, there is still room to grow. You haven't even reached the top yet. I also need to tell you one thing. The 13 Blue Envelopes Challenge got off to an interesting start, but not everyone fully take parts in it. But honestly, don't fret about it. You've got other things that are going to come up. I can definitely say that you left a message to ask yourself, how does your confidence get on from last year? And I can certainly say you managed to do it. You managed to rebuild that confidence, because next year, it's going to be interesting. You managed to rebuild the confidence, now it's time to put it into practice. You had every right to worry. You had every right to have fear, but the fact is, you did it. You managed to get over some of the key obstacles that were holding you back, and you managed to do some of the things that you never thought you'd see before and experience some life-changing things. And the reason you did this is because you allowed yourself to. And it's just those little steps that make a difference. Past Dave, be proud of yourself. I know I am, and I am scared still, but then we all are. It's been good catching up, and my future self will definitely be looking forward to seeing back on these two particular dates and seeing how things progress further. See you next time.